What's up, what's up, what's up? This is our second NFT Metaverse conversation. And if you'll click in the chat room or in the chat, there is a Dropbox from Boss Banks inside of his mind. He he listened to the first video we did about 5 or 6 times. After the second or third time, he started making voice notes. He sent them all to us, to me. We sent them all to me. Then he put them in the chat, and then Crystal downloaded them all and put them in a Dropbox on one file. How long is it? 20 minutes? 40 minutes. So it's a 40-minute, one recording straight of his ideas. So you ain't got to keep saying play, 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 play. So I encourage everybody, please hit that Dropbox and drop that down in your life. And then a quick recap from how we got here. Hold on, we always open our meetings in prayer. So if we take a nice big inhale through the nose, slow exhale out the mouth. Abdul Kultai for Latai, Wabazong, I'm a Farragon, Shilel Kalon. We are in the love of all, and all love is in us. We are a part of all, and all is a part of us. And we are one with all, and all is one with us. We can succeed as a part of all and fail as individuals, and we can be all that we wish in all, as long as our wish is to stay in all. We are never alone. All is, we are. All can, we can. All does, we do. Istanjay, Ilaku. All right. In our last meeting, how we even got here, just in case somebody's catching the second recording, is Shana came to the Gen room. She had a crazy background in mechanical engineering. Then she started talking to me about NFTs and metaverses. And I was like, you're talking too fast. And I was like, can you give us a private meeting? She gave us a private meeting, and she introduced us to her fiance, Tony. Tony came in hitting like, she was already Barry Bonds. And then he came in like Babe Ruth right behind her and basically explained it to us in a very, very simple format. And especially the part where he emphasized at the very beginning that if you're not trying to build community, you will not make, NFT is not the space, or metaverse is not the space for you. That's all I want to do, is build community and inspire. And so Boss was so hyped, he hit me back and was like, what we do next when I get to talk to him, blah, blah, blah. So I just wanted to be a fly on the wall in some of that conversation for so I can add on. He was a fly on the wall for hours and added on. So I was like, yo, I want to be a fly on the wall as well in what we're about to do today. Today is day 2 of a new lunar cycle. So whatever we putting together today, we're gonna see the manifestations of it, at least the beginning of it, in probably around 24, 25 days. So really happy how this is syncing all together. Boss, I appreciate you for taking the initiative, jumping in there, saying, yo, when we gonna get this meeting on tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, Friday, whatever. And so everybody else is already, like, if you're here now, you were definitely in the first one. Everybody's not here, but that's all right. And Tony, I definitely appreciate it. Were you able to click on any of the notes that Boss was taking as he was listening to y'all break it down?
No, I didn't see any notes. Where was that?
There were audio notes in the thread.
Oh yeah. Oh, you talking about? Oh, I remember. Yeah, from the original. Yes, I did.
So you got a chance to press play on a couple of them?
Yes, I think 2 of them I did.
Right. That's why I'm glad we put them all in one. So hopefully you get that Dropbox. So at your leisure, you can just press play. And then he's already memorized dang near the whole conversation. So I don't know where he wants to start at today. So I'm gonna turn it over to my man, Boss. But first off, I want to also say this absolutely is a spook that sat by the door play. I don't know if y'all seen the movie or read the book, but this is for certain. I know Boss from when he was like a freshman or a sophomore at A&T, and The Secret that just came out. And Boss was the only person in the room that was on that same frequency of money comes to me easily and frequently, right? And my plan was, because a lot of them in the room was like, when they just wanted to graduate, they had no idea what to do. And I was like, y'all need to get y'all PhD by the time y'all 30 and keep good credit so y'all can walk in the bank 10, 20 deep, get $2 or $3 million a piece and then go pop off. And so we got cats spread out from that arena, but Boss is my financier. And so Boss, if you could introduce yourself to the group and take it away.
What's going on, Peace family? Yeah, like Coach said, that's how me and him, originally got down. That was, wow, that's over 10, 15 years ago. He getting old, but looking good, you know what I mean?
I'm getting better.
So, 100%. And like you said, that whole money come frequently, easily, that was really the frequency that we was on at the time. And just really building upon ideas. My background is marketing promotion, always has been. Always will be. I'm in finance, insurance. So that's what that's why I make a lot of my money right now. And I really enjoy the space. It's the same thing to me, like events, just helping people, but at the end of the day too, I also am a treasurer for a nonprofit organization, Girls for a Change, which is about making sure Black girls are seen, heard, and celebrated. Last year we raised over $1 million. And I mean, as far as like sponsors and connections, like we work with everybody from Twitter, TED Women, Warner Brothers, we was getting money from Warren Buffett Foundation, so it's pretty much around the block. I mean, we went to the White House, Obama administration, to talk about Black girls as an invite. So the work has been documented. Angela Patton is the executive director. You can look up her TED Talk. I mean, that's really a lot of, just community building. So when, and it was funny, I was having a conversation with some of the donors and we were talking about NFTs. And then I had friends that were talking about NFTs, but literally the timing of it, we were talking about NFTs. And then I was just thinking, I was like, dang, who I know that I can get an idea on this whole NFT situation? Because in relation to the nonprofit organization, we're doing a building fund. So it's $1 million that we're raising. We actually have some land grants as well too. That's separate from the $1 million that we're raising. And we're developing that land. And then we have a physical space or building in Richmond, Virginia, that we're in the process of purchasing, right? Which is what the building fund is from. And so I was thinking, well, maybe, NFTs might be a cool way to attach yourself to the building fund, and we can do something creative with the girls. We always have them doing different things, and coding is something that they do exercise right now. So, and have been exercising. And that's through relationships with Twitter and Apple and all that other type stuff. Microsoft as well. So then I hit Coach up, and then he hit me with the video, which was 2 hours and 22 minutes. I'm sorry. And he told me, he was like, yo, when you get this, I can't wait to hear back. And it took me a second because I was actually running insurance appointments and I was just listening to it in between appointments. And it was just so, I appreciate everybody on the call because it was so crystal clear to me as far as like, oh, it's a lot bigger than what I thought it was, but that makes sense because I could never really figure out, how it worked. And so I felt like just by hearing and rehearing the conversation, I had a really good understanding. And then it got to the point that I had questions and I was saying stuff. And then, that's when the voice notes popped off. And then I actually started the voice note like in the middle, really, of one of the recordings that I was watching, or one of the times I was watching it back. And so really, Tony, my thing was, how do I, when I look at Girls for a Change, how do I take that NFT situation? Because it's about building a community. We got a community, even when I look at the donors, if we're able to connect back with them from an NFT standpoint or just through a token or something like that, we can engage with them on a regular basis. That type of stuff is really important because we got to look at, you don't want one-time donations, right? You want continued donations. So in order to do that, connecting and building community is something that we're already working on with our development coordinator, So just transferring that into this whole meta space, I thought was really cool. The same thing, even when y'all start talking about building spaces, that was really interesting to me, because one of the things we say in Girls for a Change is, we're, building the girls for the world, but we're also building the world for the girls. Like, we already say that. So it's just like, I started thinking about it from building a world or building a universe standpoint, and like having spaces where, kind of like when y'all were talking about the mall, right? Like, I could have the sponsors, like we do stuff with Target, so like everybody that supports Girls for a Change, these large commercial spaces that support Girls for a Change, they could have space in a Girls for a Change space, whether that's a world, a mall, whatever, whatever. That's kind of like up to the girls in my thought process. But like creating that space, what does that look like? And even when we start talking about creating that space, like, okay, so I understand that I mean, I call it construction, right? Because when you're building something, it's construction. But I understand that in this case, it's software construction, right? Like, you got these people, right, that are developing. So then it's like, okay, well then, how do we connect there? And then, for me, from the way I look at it and the way we operate just within our profit is, what a girl's got to be involved. So then there has to be that that conversation piece, that communication, where the girls can learn and participate in the construction of. You follow what I'm saying? So like that, those things are like important to me. Like, how do we go about that? And then, even when we start talking about events, like we did what's called a Diva Bag auction a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago. We getting ready to bring that back. We had Beverly Bonds, who is you might have heard of like Black Girls Rock. She's a DJ. She runs that particular nonprofit organization. We had her come through for it, but we're exercising that. We're gonna do that out in LA, and we got a number of celebrities that are gonna be donating their own personal bags. But then I'm like, well, can't we take the bags and turn them into like NFTs or 3D versions of the bag or something like that, and then sell those too? Or, I don't know. So like, we have actual events on the calendar that could be turned into, I guess, events in a metaverse type of arena, or we can produce products, whether those are like NFT products or assets rather, from those particular events, and then resell those. We got a large following. Like, I mean, we got Serena Williams coming in during the pandemic and talking to the girls. I mean, it's crazy the amount of stuff that we do with the girls, and the amount of support that we get from people in reference to the girls. So just leveraging that, building upon that community, and monetizing that to be able to make sure that we're providing them and continuing to provide them with the best opportunities. And even in the metaverse space, one of the things, like I said, because we do, coding is one of the things that we look at. I looked at, and I know you were talking about, or it might have been another call, because I was on another call after that. Somebody hit me up about IMC coin or something like that. I don't know, but just looking at like what the market cap is on, or getting the idea of what the market cap is, not on the metaverse, but like in software development in the metaverse. Like, what does that look like from an industry standpoint? Because, we got girls getting certifications from Microsoft and stuff like that, from or from development programs, software development programs, and trying to position them to be able to, number one, get jobs in the space. And I shouldn't say number one, but be able to produce income in that space, right? Number one, whether that's through a job or through them owning their own shop, like whatever they want to do, they can make it their situation. So that's kind of like where I'm coming from. I was talking about some side stuff too in there, that kind of plays to the backseat. One of my friends, that's an actor, he's really, interested in the space. So, and he's a supporter of the organization, and was thinking about, okay, well, how can we build out something for him, and I was talking to him over the break, and we was just, just chopping it up over the holidays like you do. And he was like, wow, like I was just looking at this, but I don't know nothing about it. He was like, you got it, just let me know. So I'm interested in like how to, I know you were talking about like you have to and I can't think of the term right now, it escapes me, but like it's basically like a roadmap starting out with the end in mind, and what that overall arching game plan is going to look like. You got to know what that is, and then that way you can create the rewards along the way. He just released which was crazy. It's a 17-minute short that's gonna be in Sundance. And when I watched it, it's on some black sci-fi, and it's Metaverse. Like, when I say it's crazy, I mean, at the end, I was like, oh, he was going through a whole simulation of a conversation that he was trying to have with somebody. And it was just the way he was breaking it down, and the fact that the window had different places that they could go pop up based on the conversation they was having, kind of like the smartphone do now. But it was just, the whole thing was just crazy, and it was so timely because it tied into the conversation that y'all had and that we had in regard to the whole NFT and the metaverse piece in space. So really, my thing, I know I said a lot. I know you said you listened to a couple clips, so I wasn't sure which ones you listened to, because I wanted to give a real overview of what I was thinking, and what I imagined or what I heard is now 40 minutes. But really my thing is action steps. Like, what's next? Like, how I get this moving?
Tony, that was his original question. He was like, how do I get this moving? So
I know it was a 20-minute question. I was like, all right, let me figure it out. He gave a lot of questions to me. I was like, yeah, okay.
I'm about action.
Hey, I love.
Just pick one. He ain't gonna be upset. Just pick one.
Listen, I'm an executing guy, man. I'm affiliated with like over 10 blue chip projects. It's gonna be the biggest projects of next year in the NFT world. It's all about execution and then what you're trying to do and the intent, but it's all about utilities too behind it. What's the utilities that you can have behind it when you want to build something, in the community base. But the first thing you were talking about is the girls project, right? And let's get on that real quick. What about this girls project that you guys are doing currently right now?
You said, what about it are we doing right now? What do you mean?
Like community building wise?
I mean, Girls for a Change, I mean, as a nonprofit organization, we've been around for over 15 years. So from a community building standpoint, like, I mean, so the whole thing with them is it's about social change, right? So the girls identify social change projects, whether that's, and I'll give an example, like there was a big thing about how Black girls wear their hair in the state of Virginia, right? And so then they were involved with, and we got them hooked up with actual state legislators on the law as it was being written, and they were able to get influence into how that law was passed. So when you start talking about a community building standpoint, like, I mean, whatever the issue is, and everything that we do is driven by the girls. Does that make sense? Like, they identify whatever it is, and then we go in that, you know. Huh? Hold on, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, I got you. All right. Yeah. So everything that we do is generated from them. So at the end of the day too, as far as building a community, like we have we showed up, and we continue to do that, because whatever the situation is, or we had so CNN, ABC World News covered one of the programs that we did, which was Date with Dad. And it's not really everybody knows like father-daughter dance, but what was really unique about the situation is we were doing father-daughter dances in the prison. So, and just the connection with recidivism rate and all that other type. So when you start talking about community, like you talking about, the officers in the jail, just the community as a whole, the dance was one portion of it in the prison, but then there was a community dance. So we have a number of people that participate in programs and events that we do, so we have something to start with. Does that make sense? Am I answering your question?
Yeah, because all right, you guys got a nonprofit organization, so which means what you can do is you can do auction. Like in the NFT world, we raised over $1.2 million in basically 24 hours, and all we did was auction off things that people wanted. It was like you get donations and stuff like that. Like for instance, like for Gutter Cat Gang, is one of the biggest blue chip projects. Like just owning a PFP is worth over 100,000 right now. I own 7.
What's a PFP?
A PFP is a profile pic. It's also a JPEG.
Okay.
Kind of like Board. I don't know if you ever heard of Board 8 Yacht Club.
No.
Okay, that's basically like Future, DJ
Okay.
Khaled, just
Yeah.
even all of them own one, and they're worth they only been around for 8 months and they're worth $146,000 each.
Okay.
And so basically what they do is they have the community and basically they'll work for a nonprofit organization. They'll raise money up. Like they say for instance they'll say like buy this Board 8 or we auction off a Board 8 for charity. And one charity made $1.2 million in 24 hours. That's how quick it works in the NFT world. Like it doesn't take long to really build. You just got to give something out. If you want to raise money to help a cause, it's easier as doing it with nonprofit organization than ever before. There's no more grants needed anymore. There's peer-to-peer transactions, community-based transaction. There's no need to have any you also can do crypto. There's no taxes involved right now because of the decentralized format inside the metaverse right now that exists. So it's a lot of directly peer-to-peer. But everything that you're going to be doing next year in 2022 is going to be on the Web3. So there will be no more social media. Social media will cease to exist. There will be no more SEOs. SEOs will cease to exist. Everything's going to be in the metaverse. And what it means by the metaverse is going to be different galaxies, different places where you can go ahead and to explore inside this, like you can go and explore the real life version of Facebook, a real life version of, Instagram. Everybody's going to have their own little metaverse, their own community where you can go and have the community token be a part of. Yes, player one, basically.
Yeah.
Also, you can buy land. It's like a lot of people right now is buying land in Decentraland Sandbox, and basically what they're doing is building their own communities for their own people. Same thing that you guys can do too. You do that exact same thing where you do it virtually, whatever the case may be, and everyone will go there and meet there. Also have perks and utilities, and get to have a sense of community building on like what we're doing now. This is Zoom. You do the same thing as a digital avatar inside the metaverse. You know how all of us meet up, we can still do the same thing, meet up inside the metaverse the same way and interact inside the same way and build, education, because that's big too, also education, and interactive, and keeping people engaged into what you're trying to do. But the number one thing I would do personally is have your nonprofit organization and then also do an auction off an NFT to raise money for the nonprofit organization, get people to buy in. And the utility would be the good cause is where the money is getting going.
So when you say that, I mean, we already got an auction coming up first quarter, I believe it is. I think, or it might be second. Where we have basically celebrity bags. You know what I'm saying? So are you saying I can turn them into an NFT and auction that off? Or are you saying auction off with like what?
What I would do is like you did the daddy daughter dance in the prisons, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we do something like get artwork for the kids to do and auction off the artwork as an NFT. Get them to do digital artwork. And hey, listen, all these artworks right here is going to be auctioned off to raise money for this. And that's how
yeah. So that kind of goes back to I was saying something. I was like, we can have. Okay, so we're doing the building campaign right now. And that's what the auction is for, long story short. And so I was saying something.
He giving us a long-term play that can be run over and over again. Not just, not just one time, like if you might have what you already have for auction, then you could have the children have the NFT digital art. That's another auction.
Got you.
Then
okay.
Every quarter you could have an auction or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
right. I got you.
nobody thinks that we got enough funding. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have more than I need, and not, and what I say, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not
Need
have
it,
it.
not have it. I married this Glockmatic. Yeah.
And that way you can keep doing it. And then, you know, like have the utilities be like something that, you know, hey, if I raise an auction of this will give me a ticket into the live, you know, real world auction to the
Okay.
event. You know, if I bid on this, and so you can bid on it, you know, because like we have platforms like Coinbase NFT, we have also platforms like OpenSea, or you know, Rarible, where you can put, you know, stuff up. You know, I put up toys already. I made over 10 grand a month selling digital toys, and digital play sets. Also coming up with a digital video game play or video game I'm coming up with soon too, working with some developers in Korea and Brazil to launch that next year. But what you have to do is take the artwork, and you took the artwork and make it digitalized and put that artwork in the metaverse, and where that way they can bid on it, auction on it, own it, and also they get the real art too as a utility. And it gives them a ticket into, let's say you want to do a banquet style auction again, or a banquet style, you know, meetup or event that you want to do. And the people who bid on those get access to those celebrities and get to be in those rooms with those celebrities as well. And then do a live auction. So it'd be two separate auctions. It'd be the one auction be as an NFT to get you a ticket into the live auction, to the live event or live banquet. And it'd be worth something like that'd be the utility behind what you're trying to launch.
Okay. So basically,
month or every quarter.
Yeah. So you using the NFT from a ticketing standpoint, like I read an article recently about that, how they were, you know, tickets for events via NFTs. So you saying create an NFT ticket basically to get into these events, and that can be auctioned off versus just selling that at a standard price.
Well, there's both. There's not really a ticket. It's basically the utility would be the ticket. The NFT will be the art, and that's what it is. It's a utility. Why should they buy your art? Well, it gets you the utility to the live auction. It'd be around the celebrities. You know, it could be a black tie event. It could be a red carpet event. You know what I mean? That you guys hosting, and be like, wow, okay. And then where's the money's going? What's going to the nonprofit organization? So it's perks. You know what I mean? To do, you know, to own the art. Like, wow, okay, that's a great cause, and I get to go to the live auction. You know, and now it helps you guys out because now you there's no money coming out of you know, raising money from, you know, going to, you know, grants, anything like that. You get the money directly from the people who buy the art, and use that money to go ahead and fund what you're trying to fund also. And you can start collecting that and say, hey, listen, we know we're going to launch, you know, 30 artwork or 20 pieces of artwork, and the 20 pieces of artwork goes to auction. The highest bidder gets it, you know, and that money goes to the nonprofit.
Okay. So then basically that's when you start talking about like limiting the pieces of art, right?
Yeah, because they're being auctioned off, so it goes to the highest bidder. So you don't need to do like 10,000, 3,000 pieces because this is an auction. That's the whole point. You know what I mean? Like you're raising for the nonprofit, so that's why you're getting people to bid on it.
Right. So, and that's what I'm saying. It has to be, like you said, like 20 pieces, 30 pieces, different pieces, auction those pieces off. Right. And then the utility is you get to come to the event because you have this.
Absolutely. And you get the celebrity that you guys have. And since they want to be a part of the nonprofit, tell them to lend their name to the project. And that way they can go ahead and the project and go ahead and get these sold.
Okay. So then when you start talking about, and like you mentioned, decentralized land, right? Is that what you said?
Central land, yes, it's a land that's going for almost $55 million just to be a part of this. But also they got plots on there. They got sandbox. They also got meta land. It's different land inside the metaverse that you can own, or you can build your own metaverse too, and your own land, your own digital land with your own community. And you do community perks, digital avatars, and stuff like that. You can also interact with other people across the world, across the planet. You can host concerts, you can host events and stuff like that. It's kind of like Sims, but you know, 3.0. But with the information of 3.0 next year, everything you know about social media SEOs will cease to exist, because a lot of these people like Apple and Google has a stronghold on the internet, and they basically dictate what the internet does using their browsers and stuff like that. Now all that's going to be wiped away with the implementation of Web3. Web3 is going to be peer-to-peer. Web3 is going to be augmented reality. Web3 is going to be holograms, all that stuff. Websites are going to be controlled different. Websites are going to be leading to straight NFTs, straight you know, metaverses that you can go into. So that whatever you know about like computers and how they work is going to be changing next year. So like, you know, that's why it's important to get into this now, and that way you guys can have a leg up, because a lot of nonprofit organizations are starting to get into this. They also start DAOs. You know what a DAO is?
Nah.
Decentralized autonomous organization, which means
Yeah, I
it's
heard you
run.
say it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's run by a
before.
computer, and it's no human interaction. And you're going to have board members who basically um, can vote on what that organization does. And basically, no human interaction, and basically, it's all coding, and all is programmed to give money to certain things and certain projects that your community feel good about. And that's what it's for. And it runs by itself, solely by itself, and it's money that you can put into the DAO. It's run by computers.
What is it called? DOO?
Decentralized autonomous organization.
Oh, decentralized autonomous. Gotcha.
Yes, that's what a DAO is. A lot of nonprofit organizations use this DAO. That's how they raise this money for the DAO, and then basically they program the DAO to help out organizations. And it's a program, because like a lot of times when we're giving money to nonprofit organizations, or we're giving money to a lot of these, like Red Cross, that money really doesn't go to help people. It goes in their pockets, and a percentage of it only goes to help people. So now we eliminate all of that by using DAOs. So DAOs is a program where it gets 100% to the people, and you can program them to do whatever you needed it to do, but it runs by itself. There's no
So
human.
so is it DAO like the equivalent of a foundation?
Yes, it's the money behind the foundation.
Okay. And so then it I guess it has in it, or it's programmed to give towards these types of causes or these types of results, I guess I should say.
Yeah, so you can make your own DAO too, and yeah, give it to whatever you want it to help. It can help your nonprofit. It can help other. Let's say, for instance, you guys want to raise money to do events. You can program the DAO to raise money to do events, and how much money it will because of that. You get people to don't download. Like if like Ethereum or Bitcoin can be converted on there, but it can take those payments and it stays in the DAO, and basically you guys can vote on what that DAO does.
Okay. You mentioned before, you said like it's no regulation, it's no like tax or anything like that. You made reference to that. The question that I had was like, um so one of the things currently is, and then especially this time of year, donors are given because of tax breaks and things like that. So you're saying that wouldn't exist in the metaverse, or it would, or how does that work?
Well, as of right now, you're so early that it doesn't exist. Right now, there's no SEC. This is decentralized.
Mm-hmm.
This is always going to be a centralized. Blockchain technology can never be hacked. It can never be
Mm-hmm.
broken. No government organization can ever shut blockchain down. It would never happen. Um, because it runs peer to peer, and it runs off decentralization of the software. So there's nobody can ever shut it down. China tried 6 times and they failed miserably. It can't be shut down. So there's no taxes on it. There's no government organization over it. This is a worldwide implication software. This is blockchain technology, and I mean, basically, you're in Wild Wild West right now. Basically, freedom to do whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Okay. As far as like, and I know what you're saying as far as like, okay, going back to the auction, creating the NFT. Um, is there a particular group that I have to go to create the NFT, or how does that work? Like once the girls, you're saying basically once they create the art and they can do that however they want to create the art, how do you then go about converting it into an NFT?
There's plenty of sites. There's like Mintable. They're also Rareable. They'll teach you step by step on how to load up that artwork onto their
Gotcha.
platform. And you just basically tell people where they need to go. And also you can put like a program inside the smart contract of, hey, listen, we'll get back 10% or whatever. 5% goes back, or whatever. You can do 100%. However you want to program that. It tells you step by step. It's called Rareable. I don't know if anybody write it down.
I
Rareable,
guess.
Mintable also, and you can load that up on there and do auction on there, or you can put it on OpenSea, 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 OpenSea.
But you were talking about before in the previous video, you were saying that some of them, and I mean, I guess these would be the ones to go to. You were saying some of them have different gas prices, or I don't understand none of that.
Yeah, gas prices is the cost it has to basically. It's kind of like a transaction fee. basically a transaction fee to make sure like it goes in your wallet. That's what all these miners and stuff like that do is to push it through. So sometimes the transaction fee, if a lot of people on the platform, the transaction fee could be high, but some websites like Solana, Mintable, they don't charge gas fees. But if you're using Ethereum, which Ethereum is number one right now inside the metaverse to be used, Ethereum is going to overtake Bitcoin soon, because it's just the functionality of it. But you're going to have to cause a lot of gas fees to mint a lot of things. Sometimes gas fees can be high, sometimes it can be low, but that's just the reality of using the platform, because you got so many people using the platform. We have 200,000 wallets inside the metaverse. So, sometimes it's like a traffic jam.
How you get a wallet? Yeah, I remember you saying something about that before. How you get a wallet?
There are plenty of different wallets. So you also have Tesla wallet, you have MetaMask, you have Coinbase. Those wallets right there will control everything. Like I use MetaMask because I don't have to use my ID or my social security card or anything. It's anonymous. Basically, holds your money without having a bank holds your money. You're in control of your money. You're in control of what you put in there. That's all it's for, just to hold your money.
Okay. What's something else? Okay, so then basically we would have to go to one of those sites, and then they would upload the NFT. I mean, they would upload, or they'll go walk step by step on how to create the NFT, and then from there we would just sell it based on the smart contract.
Well, you go to the sites and you do that. You can start your wallet. The wallet is how you convert Ethereum. You don't need Ethereum to load and pay for a lot of fees and stuff like that using Ethereum. So your wallet, you're gonna buy Ethereum through your wallet, and then basically you're gonna have your wallet. Your wallet's gonna be basically your ID, and you can go to a developer, or you can use the artwork, like do digitized artwork. You just load your artwork on there, on that platform, on these platforms, and the platforms will basically walk you through it.
Okay, and so how much would something like this cost?
It's according to what kind of artwork you want to do. Like if you want to like type of artwork would be like on an iPad or something. So you get them to draw on an iPad or whatever, some of the artwork, and you take it and you say, okay, well, this good. Let's say you get 30 girls or whatever the case may be. 30 girls to do 30 different artwork. And basically you just take the artwork and get them to do artwork on an iPad. Take the iPad and you save it, put their name, their signature underneath it, load it up on your computer or save it on your computer, take that image or whatever the case may be, load that into on the one of those platforms like Variable or one of those platforms like Minimal, and then you launch it off of there and you build your, your name and what artwork you're trying to do. And you leave right there, you get people to bid on it. And you put it, they have settings where you can put auction or you can put buy now, stuff like that. And that's how you do
Okay,
it.
so like one of the things, like we have the girls were involved in an art project. We did a couple murals around the city. So like and then there are murals actually on the building itself. So like we could take that and then I guess via a photo or something like that and then put it on there.
Yeah, you can do that too. Anything can be an NFT. It could be music, it could be photos, it could be art. If you want to get the artists to come back and stand in front of their murals, you can do black and white or photography. Photography is supposed to be huge in 2022. Get them to take that, and you can load that up too as an auction for all the artists who made those murals. You load that up too and get people to bid on that.
Okay.
Boss, let me tell you this cannabis story, because this is what it's reminding me of. And I was like, waiting for you to really shoot the death blow shot, like I will, like right now. So my man got this thing called the Smoke and Grow Rich Tour, which I don't know why he ain't on the call, but that seems like that would be, so what he's doing is educating non-legalized cannabis states on what the laws are as it's coming towards their state. So like he was talking to cats in Illinois before Illinois passed. But we went to Denver because Denver was first, right? And so we had a cannabis consultant, Corey. So Corey would charge you $4,500 or something to set your whole thing up. So if the boys came after you, your stuff would be bulletproof. However, if you didn't see Corey or didn't see a consultant and you set your own stuff up and then the boys came after you, Corey's entry fee to fix your problem was 40 bands, right? So it don't matter. He was like, well, you charge 4,500 to set it up. Yeah, but you're in trouble now. So it's 40,000 for me to come in and then whatever else it might be, right? So after we finished talking to him, the next day he took us around to dispensaries, grow operations, laboratories, and processing plant. Because that's like the whole supply chain, you know what I'm saying? Starting with the processing plant, going to
Yo, they was in Virginia?
No, all this in Denver.
Okay, so I heard somebody saying something. Okay.
Nah, I mean, he might have wanted to do a smoke and grow rich in Virginia, but
Okay.
I'm just saying what happened in Denver.
Gotcha.
So the second day, one of Corey's clients was this white Jewish lady who had some of the best cannabis fire in Denver. Like she was winning awards and all that.
Mhm.
And one thing that she stressed, she said, this whole place that you see, she says, I got my license, which she had the ideal. Then she went to Florida and got a master grower, brought him to help her pick out the rental space. And then he designed the entire thing. So it was just like a square cube. He said, I want this wall here because this room got to be this wide. This door has to open out instead of in because I'm gonna go wall to wall and the door will hit the inside. I want this over here because this is where I need my chemicals at. This is gonna be the room where we're gonna like lay the weed out after we come down the hallway. And it was just like a complete system that came out of his head. The thing with what you got set up is, and what I have set up is, Tony is a master grower. He's a metaverse grower, which is to me nastier than the marijuana because the marijuana has already entered the metaverse. Because we was talking about this yesterday about like looking at the bud on the, you know what I'm saying, in the metaverse.
Word. And
saying this is what I want, and then paying for it in crypto, and then it show up at your door. Bam. So I like all of the questions, but when you say how do we, then I don't want to know how do we. I just want to know how do I stay partnered with Tony, and then when I say how do we, Tony's included. Because when you say like Girls for Change, you say, well, how do we do this? How do we do that? I wouldn't try to do it. You know what I'm saying? Your expertise, this ain't your area. Well, we got.
Oh no, I mean 100%, 100%. Like, I mean,
Okay.
and to keep it a buck, I mean, that's where we at. Like when I say how do we mean we, like we us.
Okay.
Like, let me be clear. Like, I ain't trying to, bro. Look, I cut the checks.
Right. I remember. Right.
So it's like I'm like, yo, like if Tony want to build it, like that cool shit. How much it costs? Damn.
Right.
That's why I asked the question. I'm like, how much it cost? Like, okay, cool. Like, okay.
Right.
Cool.
And then Tony will probably, if I'm Tony, I don't know whether, depending on what I hear, I might not want to get paid up front. I might want an equity piece because I like what they say, stakeholders eat steak. You know, everybody else eat bologna. So
100%. He said that on the call too.
Tony may be like, give me 40 bands and that joint hit $1 billion. He'd be like, boy, I should have took 2%. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. And in this area, I got 49 cents. I got 49% to slam around. I could care less. I ain't worried about it because a half of 200 million is enough for me. A half of 50 million is enough for me. A half of 1 million is enough for me. So everything over that, I want everybody, like I said, I want my nickname to be Cash Cow. I want Tony to be like, they'd be like, yeah, you know, OE. He'd be like, yeah, I know Cash Cow. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean OE. They'd be like, you call that man on his name? That's what we call him. We call him Cash Cow.
You said that on the call too.
Right.
100%. No, I'm with you. I mean, I mean, you already know the play. Like, that's why I'm like, you know, how we do it. But, you know, I'm just listening to follow directions, asking the questions.
I
But at
think
the
it's
end of
good
the day, too,
information also to take back to your peoples. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
no,
So
no, I mean
you
100%.
to
But
the
like
people.
100%. But like at the end of the day, too, like I need like an action plan on like, okay, cool, like this is what it is. I can't be the meta expert, like, because I don't know nothing about that. You know, I'm learning about it, but nah, that's not my area.
Right.
And all things, at the end of the day, too, what I can do is communicate. So, yeah, me having an understanding is important because then I have to be able to communicate it back to, the board or in this case, my homeboy is the actor. Hey, listen, this is what we need to do. These are what the next steps are. Okay, cool. This is what the deal looks like. Okay, cool. Tony gonna build it. Tony need X. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Tony, Tony, how does all this sound?
Well, it sounds good. I just need to, like I said, let's focus on one. If we're gonna do an event, let's do an event, and then let that event lead into raising money for the causes that you're trying to do with your nonprofit. I think let's do one thing at a time and keep it small, and then build from that small up to where we're trying to do.
No, I mean, and I'm with you 100% there, Tony. I mean, my like on the when I was listening to it, my thing was, and for me, like I see big picture, and then understanding like who I'm talking to and talking back to, like, hey, listen, this is what it can look like in the end. Hey, listen, but this is what we gonna bite today. We gonna make some NFTs for the Diva Bag auction. Something that we gonna do in LA. Something that's real cool to do is let's get Hamilton, who we did the murals with the girls. Let's get him and the girls in front of the. Matter of fact, I think we already got the pictures anyway. The pictures of the girls that did the murals around the city and stuff like that. And let's sell those as the NFT, or let's auction those off as the NFT to get into the event. Done. Like I'm trying to, I want the layups. I want the low hanging fruit. I want the easy entry because I got to move a organization into a metaverse type of reality. So the girl's gonna catch it quick, but then I got to move everybody else. And that's my assumption, because kids always catch technology quick.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I would probably see if you got to decide whether you want to do the artwork, digitize the artwork, or you want to do photography. And then utility
I
behind
mean,
it.
I think the easiest thing to do, and like I'm trying to go for like the simple thing, so that it's probably simple just to get the artwork, like a photo of the artwork with the girls and the guy that Hamilton with them. I mean, if we don't already have it, I'll double check. We might already have it. So if we already got it, then it's just taking that and that photo and converting that into an NFT. If I hear you correctly.
What's the story behind it, though?
What's the story behind the particular artwork?
Yes.
Well, these are images of Black girls. So one of the things, like I said before, celebrated. And so these are positive images and created by Black girls. And these are on, I'm literally thinking about one that's downtown Richmond, right off of Broad Street. Like there are major thoroughfares that the girls were able to create their work. And then even on the building itself, they were at the building, which is over South Side, but they were able to create these types of images and put them on the building themselves. So it's a really cool it's a really cool visual, but again, these are girls that want to operate in that space, so it was really great for them to exercise, that type or that level of creativity. I mean, they were even featured in the paper and stuff like that, so it was really cool.
Okay. Yeah, the reason why I said that is there's a lot of artists in this space, a lot of photographers in this space. So what I would do, if you could do a mini documentary to tell the story of why these murals are important, and then that way have the documentary introduce who these artists are and what this mural means to them, and that way you have a more
Okay.
conversation of what this is and why it's being sold. You know what I mean? And that's
Mhm.
amazing because now you build up an intimate connection with what your cause is, and it's not just any kind of
So no, I got you. So you saying um basically produce a documentary on that. Is that what I'm hearing?
yeah, like a mini documentary on the artist and the artwork and what is this helping, like, this is helping the nonprofit, this is
Yeah.
why we make this, and then you can show the artwork, so you're using basically the documentary as the promo to the artwork, so that way people can understand what this is, and it's not just artwork thrown up in the metaverse.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a story behind it. It's more in-depth story about what this artwork means.
I got you. Okay. That sounds like a plan. That could be done. Um, and so what is it like Coach was saying, what does that look like as far as your involvement, or is that something that you need to get back to
Um,
me
I-
with, as far as what that looks like from a
you,
consultant or from an equity position or whatever?
basically it's like, okay, if you're down in Richmond, you know all the artists. If you can get with like a photographer or a videographer to go ahead and tell these stories, it's like it could be
No,
like
we already, yeah.
you already have that.
Yeah, we got that.
Okay, so you already have the documentary.
No, I mean we already have photographers, videographers, we got all that.
Okay, and basically like a 5-minute video or whatever case may be, explaining exactly what the artwork does, who's the organization, why does it help you, have more in depth on who the artists are.
Mhm.
um get that done, and then what you can do is know when you're trying to do the live auction. You have a date set, you said in LA, right?
Yeah, I have to check what the date is. I don't know the date off the top of my head.
So what you would
I
do
just,
is premiere
Mhm.
that premiere that documentary at the auction. You get what I'm saying? And do a red carpet event, a black tie event, and premiere that documentary at the auction. And then what you can do is you sell the NFT before the live event, so that way people can buy the live event and also get a ticket to the live event, or people, or they can bid on it. So you can still sell tickets to the live event, but just get them to bid on the artwork, and then that artwork is going to a good cause, or the photography pictures is going to a good cause. So get a date for your event, when you're trying to do a red carpet event, debut the documentary at the red carpet, and you can also do a live auction, the real live auction of the photographs or whatever case. Maybe you take the photographs and put them in frames, and then that way they get the physical version. So whoever the winner is of the NFT auction will also get the live version of the painting or the photography or the photograph or something that they can have also. So not only they own the NFT, they own the live version of it too, and that goes into the good to go into a good cause.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, get that down first. And like I said, I'm here to help. Um, usually I want to be a part of this project because I want to see Black people thrive, and I'm all for like Black entrepreneurs and Black people coming in this space to help our own. That's what I'm about. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I got into the NFT world to buy Black the Block. To bring, I want Black owned grocery stores that sell Black owned products. I want to start putting condominiums in the neighborhoods, and basically in our hoods. I want to revitalize a lot of our neighborhoods. I'm gonna also make our own schools and get out of public school so we can all know our own history. So that's why I'm in it for. I'm getting the money through the NFTs and through the metaverse to help fund that and stop having government programs fund our neighborhoods when they don't care about us. So that's why I'm here. So that's what I'm all about, man. that's that's
I got
that's
you.
where I look at my next 5 years where I want to be. So it's like helping, yeah, definitely, man. But normally I charge people to be a part of this, but like I want to be a part of this project. I want to help you guys, grow, and in the metaverse.
Okay, so then
Uh,
what? Go ahead.
Nah, I just over here just, thinking about my own situation. Me, my particular first step is I need to go. Tony, would you say my first step is to go acquire my property first? 'Cause
Yes.
I can't like, I want property, then product. You know what I'm saying? I want the digital real estate before I start minting, because when I mint, I would like to have it on my own property, even if I don't have up nothing but a hot dog stand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know if you want a hot dog stand in the metaverse. It's like,
I was just talking about, what I'm saying, size wise. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, I
Just
know
start
that.
buying land. Start buying land. Right now, what's big is right now people are they're buying land and they're buying billboards and stuff like that, and they're renting out their houses for digital avatars. Like the one person sold one digital land next to Snoop Dogg for $1.5 million. Somebody sold some land, for $484,000, because like with coronavirus keep popping up, these variants keep popping up. People just want to live in the avatar world where they can go play and go interact with people through digital avatars and stuff. Like the same way how we all gather up today on the Zoom call, you'll gather up the same way inside of Decentraland or whatever land that you own.
Oh boy. Yes, this was something that I hold on one second, boss.
Another question. Oh, what?
I seen this about this Meta Club Society. I'm sure you already have a ticket somewhere popping bottles already,
What's
Tony.
that?
Yeah, I already got that. I've got that about a month ago before it went public. Yeah, it's like whatever makes the news now, it's old. And when in the NFT world only been around for a year, and it grows $14 billion in 1 year, well, 1 quarter. So yeah, and that's Decentraland right there. Can you play that back? That's Decentraland. Meta Club is basically like a nightclub for perks and stuff like that. And you win, like, you get coins and utilities for joining the nightclubs. But Decentraland, that's where is that right there. And they do
So
live concerts. Justin Bieber just did a live concert in Decentraland. Travis Scott just did one about a couple months ago. And that's basically a land where you can go, you can buy land, you can learn education, and also you can play to earn games inside there where you can earn money on digital currency that you convert for real cash. You can do actually anything you want to do. You want to do live concerts, want to do community building, want to teach, and have your own land out there to teach people.
wait a
Yeah,
minute. Are you telling me this is a Patreon killer?
kind of, but yeah, when they're dealing with Polygon and also they dealing with like Dapper Labs and stuff like that. Yeah, it's gonna be one of the biggest. That one and Sandbox too. Also, Sandbox is another one.
So where did Snoop buy his at? Decentraland or Sandbox?
He's both. He has both. He has one in the Central Lane and Sandbox.
Then
Snoop Dogg.
I need some in Sandbox myself then.
Yeah.
Which
He says both.
one?
Right down the top one. And then you also see down there it says Sandbox versus Decentraland too. You can also
Yeah.
pick. And also Meta, Facebook is launching their own digital world too. A lot of digital world, because it's so much money that's available right now.
So you're saying we could buy property in Decentraland and the Sandbox and Meta?
Yeah, they're different worlds. Yeah.
So if I wanted to have whatever,
Go to you. I don't know if you can pull up YouTube. Can you pull up YouTube right now?
come on, man, don't act like that.
I'm just making sure. I don't know. YouTube right now. I want you to pull up. You can watch Rick Ross. I want you to pull up digital avatars and metaverse. Yeah, Meta. There you go.
Oh, I ain't just Meta.
Yeah, just Meta, and you'll see it pop up. See how the Nike's already in the Nike Coca-Cola. It was just on a lot of the blogs. Right there, if you go down the second one right there, you'll see Mark Zuckerberg right there is telling people exactly how it's going to go. Yeah, Instagram is going to cease to exist. They're going to be shutting down November of next year. There's not going to be likes, followers anymore, and everything going to be switched to a digital format because it's owned by Meta. They're going to have open galleries, so that's going to stop. That's going to cease. Yeah, Facebook is going to shut down around November too. So yeah, see the digital avatars down there? Way down there. Yeah. There
This
you
one?
go. Yep. Right there. That's how everything's going to be. You can have your own digital. Yeah. So everything you know about social media will cease to exist next year. It's all over. And I've been trying to tell people this. And they're like, oh, what do you mean? They're done. And they're going to buying digital land for passive income right there too. And that's what people buy land and they convert that land. They sell their land out also. And some of the land right now is accumulated for $554 million in the last 3 months. A lot of real estate agents make more money in decentralized land than they do in real life. People are buying projects. I'm in property, and basically they're leasing the property out. It's people that owns um, Uber and Lyft is now in the metaverse too, renting out cars for people to drive around and get around the metaverse. Boeing 747 is going to be creating a plane to fly to other worlds and other galaxies too. Yeah, like what we know now, like y'all right now is so early. None of this stuff is going to be adapted until the end of 2022, 2023, 2024. So everything going to be 99% converted. But yeah, yeah, social media, the likes and followers, that's gonna be a thing of the past, and it's gonna be real world utility peer to peer. Web3 is basically different from like in the .com era in 1999 when .com was launched. Everybody didn't understand it, and remember the big boom happened and changed our world. And now you're on the same thing. Now is you're in a digital renaissance where everything is changing, and now we're in Web3. And Web3 is basically eliminating Google, eliminating Apple. Like Apple only gets you like, oh wow, you can only use Apple if you go to their app store. If you use anything else, you can't use it. Those days are over with now with Web3. Web3 is straight peer-to-peer, eliminating the middleman. All websites are going to be different. You own your own website. Like mine is .eth. You can do .io. You own your name, and that name goes to any page that you're trying to represent yourself. So yeah, it's going to be crazy next year with mainstream adaptation.
Boss, you had a question. Your turn. Go ahead. I can hold my next 4.
Yeah. So then, for my homie that's an actor, like on his situation, like it would be kind of like the same thing, like creating some type of NFT for him, which could be a video project, right?
You say he's an actor?
Yeah.
What has he started?
Orville, Walking Dead, The Wire.
Okay. So what he'll do is if he can just make a community-based coin and get people to buy the coin, and the coin will give them access to Cameo. 5-minute Cameo with him. And they can just talk to him face to face. More for the loyal fans of his loyal fans who wants to meet him, who wants to be a part of him. He could do a community-based token where people can buy that token, get one-on-one, show their projects, take pictures, shout out Cameo, stuff like that.
Okay.
So I'm working on something like that right now for it's a wrestling company called High Spots. High Spots does all the digital branding for WWE, AEW, and stuff like that. And I'm gonna be working with Sting,
Yeah.
and the Undertaker, and then helping develop their NFTs also. So that's gonna be big. And then utility is gonna be you buy their NFT or Legendary Moments, and then you get to meet them face to face or on Cameo, stuff like that. As a utility for people who are a holder of their NFTs.
Okay.
Because now it's like you in the age of where you have to sell tickets and hopefully they'll come. Mm-hmm. Now you eliminate all that because you just basically selling tickets or NFTs, and having a ticket to go see you as a utility now. Now it's like, wow, okay, I own this, but I get to meet this guy on these dates or something like that. And now as the artist is looking at it from the standpoint of, wow, I don't have to tour, or I don't have to worry about getting a promoter anymore. I can sell 1 million tickets and do my own show, and I'm my own boss. And I only need to give 10% to 20% to no manager, no promoter. They all go straight to my community, direct marketing. It's like digital marketing, but direct consumer marketing to your fan base. and now you don't need a promoter anymore. It will help with boxing. It's going to help eliminate a lot of the Live Nation, Ticketmasters. Those people, those companies are going to be a thing of the past now, because there's no
Uh-huh.
reason to have them anymore, because it's like you don't need the mainstream. You don't need to sell tickets. You can sell those, every quarter. Could you imagine if you're an artist, right? Let's say you're an artist, you're an independent artist, okay? Hypothetically, let's say, I don't know any independent. All right, like Tory Lanez, what he did. Tory Lanez basically partnered up with a nonprofit organization, gave them 10% of the sales, and then basically nonprofit organization developed the NFT, digital dogs. That's what it was called, digital dogs. And basically they sold those digital dogs, but Tory Lanez was pushing his single with the digital dogs. So you got the digital dogs, you get unreleased unreleased single on his song on that digital dog that would never be released, and they sold 1 million of them. They sold out in
It was
50
like, yeah, it was like Jay-Z with the phones.
yeah. So they sold out in 57 seconds. And he made over $1 million. And then also that nonprofit made 10% off that $1 million. So it was basically profitable for both of them. But now he didn't need he made $1 million and didn't need a manager, didn't need a promoter, didn't need anyone. So every quarter he'll do that. So you imagine making $4 million directly to you and don't have to split that money up with anyone. You eliminate everybody. Now you don't need the need for anybody. You don't need a tour. You make $4 million by yourself. There's no touring. You have to pay for backup dancers. You didn't have to pay for staging. You didn't have to pay for publicists. None of that. You just basically just sold NFT and you just selling your ass and not doing anything. That's what a lot of artists are looking at, especially older artists are just looking at it from the standpoint of, I can make $4 million sitting at home, or give a utility, or do one concert. You do 4 shows every quarter, and you just sell your NFT every quarter. That's $4 million doing 4 shows a year, as opposed to touring 100 cities trying to get 4 million. It eliminates all that. It eliminates ticketing. It eliminates booking fees, all that. Right? Logistics, plane tickets, hotels. You eliminate all that, and all that money goes straight to you. And you only have to do 4 shows a year, and you get your money up front.
And then if he wants to do something exclusive in person, his people get first dibs.
Yep, because they're a holder of the NFT. Yeah. So let's say Q1, right? Let's say it's January, right? And it's right now January. Q launches NFT January 26th, and it sells out. Let's say it sells out in 2 minutes, and there's over 1 million of them. He made $1 million, and they'll say, well, the show's going to be in March for that show. Bet. Now you got almost 1 million people showing up to that one show. You see what I'm saying? Or whoever, half of it's always going to be like that.
Right.
Or they get a sweatshirt too, or whatever the case may be. Or you can do tier pricing, where you can do platinum, gold, and bronze. If you paid $1,000 for this NFT, you get access to the show. You know what I'm saying? So you can break it down in the tiers of whoever goes up to these shows and stuff like that. And you can sell 1 million of them. And actually, it can help you guys out. Let's say we were talking about doing a festival. So let's say if you want to do a festival and you guys partner up with a celebrity or a musician artist, and you guys let's say you get some land and you want to do vendors and stuff like that, vendors and staging, and you want to get, we'll say Lauryn Hill. We want Lauryn Hill to come out, right? Lauryn Hill costs what, about $2,000, okay? Lauryn Hill costs $62,000. You guys launch your coin, you launch your NFT. Hey, listen, this is, we're launching our NFT to for everyone to go see Lauryn Hill. It could be whatever, it could be artwork or whatever, or this this painting, and then you do 10,000 of them or whatever the case may be. So 10,000 paintings at $300 a piece, which is very low in the NFT community. And then they take on the gas fees. The gas fee could be like 65, maybe $100 on that. So you're paying $400 for an intimate gathering. Plus you get a sweatshirt, you get merch. But you do 400 times 10,000 is what, you guys?
4 million.
There you go. And you already got that money up front. That pays for the merch that you're going to hand out to your consumers. That's also paid for the tickets for people to go and see Lauryn Hill. And Lauryn Hill gets her money up front. Guess how much money it costs you to come out your pocket and do?
0. Well, I had to mint whatever it cost me to mint.
Yeah, whatever it costs you to put and load it up. So they say the average might be, if you do 10,000 of them, might be less than probably about $1,200, maybe $2,000 at the most. So you take $2,000 and load all 10,000 NFTs up, and you resell those. Now all of a sudden you make money. That's like paying the developer, paying for the gas fees, and also loading it up. So let's say hypothetically it costs you that much. You make $4 million selling 10,000 tickets, basically. Now Shane is here. She just woke up, y'all.
And don't be thrown under the bus.
I
That's the
knew
damn
it was
boss.
early.
She didn't want to put this together. She didn't want to put this together. She can show up today whenever she feel like it.
Oh yeah, true.
Hey, Shayla, I want the restroom. That's boss night.
Peace.
My apologies. I had this on my calendar for 3 hours, but anyway, I'm West Coast.
It's all
time. I got
good. It's all good.
We're having a good conversation right now, so it's dope.
You're the guru. You know more. You onboarded me anyway, so I'm not necessary right now.
So, boss, what you think?
Nah, I mean, like, so moving with the coin, like, how quick can we get that done?
You can either get to a developer, but I'm gonna throw like a little alley hoop your way. You ever heard of Fiverr?
Yeah, Fiverr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get a developer and pay a developer just like that to develop a community-based token for your nonprofit, and you pay them directly through that, and you own that, and then you launch that. There's graphic artists on Fiverr and stuff like that you can pay.
NFT
Okay.
artist.
Yeah.
I think they're all over Clubhouse too. I think I got a couple like on my already. I want to stick with the network I'm in first before I go shopping out. And this is why I say I'm not the plug no more. I'm the power strip. So I got a lot of things plugged in to me. Boss, was you good on questions? Because I need a question.
No, go ahead.
And I'm glad Shayna is here because she probably has seen the inside of my stuff more than Tony has, you know what I'm saying? Because she's been to the Gen room. We've had conversations. So my question, I wrote down 2 questions, like where does OE start? Because I want my own coins, I want my own NFT, but then I changed the question to how does OE grow in this space? So like for me, very Virgo is like, I just heard the long range plan that boss laid out for all of us. So I'm very happy with that because I know artists and musicians and stuff like that. And yes, I do want to do, yes, we are doing a Atlanta psychedelic conference. And I love to be the first person to do a psychedelic conference in the metaverse. You know what I'm saying? I still want to do one brick and mortar too, because people want to come together. So my question is like, boom, after I buy some property, then do I mint an NFT or do I go after coins or do I decide what crypto I want to be paid in? Or that's what I want to know, like what's my first 3 steps that I need to do? Because I heard, buying my name with the .o on the end of it, IO on the end of it. Also the Jupiter Group, because I'm a personality, an influencer, and then the Jupiter Group is my firm, or it's one of my umbrella corporations. You know what I'm saying? So I want the Jupiter Group inside this space. I want my spiritual temple inside this space. So do I need to buy 2 pieces of land for these 2 entities and myself, or can I buy 1 piece of land and then have myself, my business arm, and then my spiritual arm on the same piece of property?
Yes, you can do all of that, but the first thing you need to do is it's about, you want to do, when you say you got a festival, right? Or you want to do, tell me about the festival first, the real life festival you want to do.
Oh. So in 2020 in January, Baba Kalindi was like, yo, I'm doing, he does a Detroit psychedelic conference every other year in Detroit. And he was like, will you help me? And I was like, yeah. So he passes away in April and we still get it done. So basically it is an educational event because we knew that decriminalized nature, we knew that decriminalization was coming. We didn't The education on one format was don't be afraid of psychedelics. And we brought in world-class speakers. I would say 95% Black and brown that look like us, because it is in a white dominated space that they always are. We're the experts, And we were the only live in person psychedelic conference in the world in 2020. They stopped all the other ones because of COVID, or they were afraid or whatever. So my objective was to have two type of people: the people that came and was like, yo, that was bananas. And then the people who heard about it and missed it and was like, shit, I missed it because everybody else was talking about it. And that's exactly what happened. After that, Oakland did a psychedelic conference. That was the original plan anyway, to go Detroit, then go Oakland, then go Atlanta. So that means all the folks from Detroit, which I already have them on the list, they'll come to Atlanta. I helped organize the joint in Oakland. So now those folks in Oakland will come to Atlanta. And then the people who flew to Detroit and flew to Oakland will now fly to Atlanta as well. We're also about to start a Decriminalize Atlanta in sometime in January or February, after the city council members get sworn in. But the objective is to educate the public that the war on drugs is over. Psychedelics are not drugs. And we want to be like, yo, this is the place where you come get not just information around the psychedelics, the intake side, but the safe use of psychedelics. Also to be able to meet people with integrity who can help you in your ceremonies, and education on every part of it. Like, it's the gold rush. So like, it ain't just about growing mushrooms. Like, do you have the right alcohol bottles? So we want to be able to open up a supply store inside the metaverse. You want to be able to come here, learn to grow mushrooms, but also be able to purchase the things that you need and have them shipped to you. And also to let you know what you must do in your particular county. So let's say Mayette is in Alabama and nobody around her is thinking about decriminalizing mushrooms. Well, now she would be able to come here and learn, at this conference, what she can do back in her home city and state to start seeding people, to start spreading the spores, so people can have access to that, or they want to turn that vibe on. Also, we're going to be able to provide a directory of counselors and therapists who are entheogenic friendly, but also train these therapists and counselors how they can protect themselves against unfair legislation until the legislation changes to be fair. So like in Oakland, you could tell your client, yo, you need some microdose, and you can go over there and get them from Boss. You can't do that as a therapist in a city that does not already have decriminalized legislature in to protect the community. And so, yeah, that's the conference. But I also, and then in the conference, of course, we this time I want to have like, if we was doing it in the metaverse, there'd be a theater room. So you'll see legends. So now you can come here and you can always see the conference. You can always see the Detroit Psychedelic Conference. You can, because we recorded every speaker. So every speaker that spoke in here, over 30, I have the entire video footage of everything that went down, plus all B-roll and backroom interviews of speakers and guests in the room that was called Psychonaut Confessions. So I want people to be able to access the Detroit Psychedelic Conference forever. I want people to be able to access the Atlanta Psychedelic Conference forever. I want them to be able to, anything that I hold, any conference that I hold, I want them to be able to access it live, and I want them to be able to access it forever. I want that information to be out there not just on YouTube, you know what I'm saying, but as well in the metaverse. So, but I want to make sure that but also I know that the coaching clients that I want to talk to, they do psychedelics. So I want there to be a funnel. You know, I want in the directory, not just counselors, but bam, here's a coach that can help you with blah, blah, blah. Here go a list of sitters. So of course, I want my name to be on there as well. So a person may find me by coming directly into my property, but I also want a person to be able to find me. Like you said, there will be no more SEOs. You know what I'm saying? So how, you know, I want to make sure I am findable. I have a whole lot of social capital, and I have a lot of impressions. And of course, my podcast is going to continue. You know, I have as Crystal says, I have an arsenal of content to repurpose and stuff that ain't even been released yet. So, Shana or Tony, where do I start? And thank you for that question, Tony.
Shane, you want to ask that?
Okay, so yeah, you're talking about a large endeavor. I think the first place you start, like very simply, is you have to build out your Web3 presence, right? Having a Web3 website or application. That I sent 2 links in the chat that are specifically designed. You know, Fiverr, you can hire anyone, but these 2 I sent you are specifically designed to hire programmers and developers who are competent in creating smart contracts, you know, building out Web3 platforms. Like for myself, I'm not there. It's a skill I'm trying to pick up, but yeah, you know, you're going to need someone who's very technically capable. And that's probably the hardest part in this space, is getting people experience. But, you know, as it grows, more and more people are learning. So the first thing I would do is buy your domain name. You can go to Unstoppable Domains. You can go on, if there's a specific one that's already purchased, you can go on OpenSea and see if you can purchase. I think the names that you're thinking of shouldn't be taken. It could be a .io, .x, .eth, because I know you said you want to have your own coin. That'll take another round of development, right? You might want to make that a part of the roadmap, you know, and start more simply on a .ens. So that's the Ethereum network, which NFTs are traded on. And that's how most projects started, right? Was trading NFTs. Because then they allow you to have access to, you know, maybe the portal, the Web3 website. And again, you could start more simply as like the NFT on the Ethereum network that people are buying allows you access to your current website, or to a Discord, which is where many of the communities are formed, and, you know, keep in touch on a day-to-day basis, or a private Telegram. So I would start there, transitioning or building a complementary Web3 website to what you have right now, traditionally. And then from there, you know, as you get people onboarded, then I think a DAO might be the best way. And since this is a collective, psychedelic collective type group. And then from that DAO, you can move to having your own coin in this space. And I'm just thinking about, like, that's how you kind of set it down piecewise. Now, the digital conference, you can still do that right now with, you know, Zoom. There's a few digital conference platforms, but that NFT would give you access, right, to the community, to be able to see, um, to you might be able to outfit your Web2 presence right now, but typically, yeah, the Web3 allows you, basically what it does is, once people have the NFT, they would connect their wallet, and then your Web3 app can verify that they have the NFT that corresponds to the community. So that's where I would start.
With a map. Yay. That's what you just laid out. We will definitely be going back, writing this down, and
Yeah.
I'll come to Charlotte for that, or fly you down to the A or whatever, or we can just do a Zoom where I can just go slower. But you just got it all out of your head. That was fine. Tony, what would you like to add to that?
Well,
Or
she,
or you
huh?
good? Or you good?
She answered perfectly, man. She, she's A1, so that's my better half. So she got it, man. She hit the nail on the head.
Okay. Okay, so now I just need to yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
I'm
simply
not
domain name.
go ahead, say that again.
I said kind of if I were to break it down by your domain names, get clear on what platform do you want to, what current token do you or smart contract protocol do you want to use? Is that Ethereum? Do you want to go on Polygon? There's a lot of different options that you could use to release those first NFTs that allow people to join your community. In the background, hiring a developer to build out the Web3 website or learning or getting folks who are learning to support that effort. And then, like I said, the roadmap going from there on what does it look like to have a community token? What does that token do, etc.
You showed me this little thingy over here the other. No,
Wouldn't it be awesome if you could just knock out it?
No, my nigga, not you, not you, not that, not that, not that. Hold on. I think you sent. Oh, okay, over here. Yes. So you sent me this Chinese the other day, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
So can you?
Yeah.
Because obviously you saw this and got excited and sent it to me, but I was excited too, but I was like, "Well, what the hell? What I do?"
Yeah. So why don't we go to their? Is this their homepage? Because this was their kind of like roadmap and what they're about. But so if you click on their homepage at the top, Psychedelics Anonymous. So yeah, this is a generative art project. They have their art flashing in the back. If you click their menu on the right, those three, yeah. So what you see, that mint button, when we talk about a Web3 application, so you can mint when you have your website built out, then the people who want to buy an NFT, they can either mint directly from the website or they can buy on the open market, like OpenSea or Rarible or whatnot. So again, that's where we have to sit down and strategize. Do you want to basically put out, there are a few different platforms where you can directly put out the NFT or you can mint from the website. Okay.
Okay, pause.
So,
Pause right there. So can you explain minting a little bit more?
yeah, minting is basically what authenticates your ownership, what allows an individual to own a digital asset. So where it is basically verified on the blockchain. So for example, Ethereum, your wallet transaction number, all of that, that is the process of transacting. So getting the piece of art from this group, Psychedelics Anonymous, and putting it into your wallet and it being yours.
And so
for the first time ever on the blockchain. So this is before it goes onto an open market. You basically have to mint it to the network, the blockchain network.
Gotcha. But they could mint from my site too.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Most projects have a link to mint. And so that's great because it helps drive hype, right? You know, minting will be open on such and such day. You know, people who mint 5 pieces of art, they'll get exclusive access to XYZ, you know, so it's part of how you can build brand. The reality is, if people are trying to make money off your NFT, which I don't think is necessarily going to be the case when it's a token into the community, but when you are trying to make money off, it's typically you have a better chance of flipping and making more money when you buy on the open market, because a lot of big projects, what what they call whales in the industry will do, they will have basically bots that can mint multiple pieces of art at one time, and it can often clog up the network for big hype projects where people are rushing to go mint. It basically, if they have a bot that is minting via code and not, physically, then it doesn't allow individuals who are just sitting there ready to click the button to mint all of the time. But that's really only an issue for really big projects where there's a lot of hype and a lot of people are trying to get stuff. But yes, you can mint on your Web3 website.
Okay.
So then what I noticed, and I think we talk about this in the psychedelic space, which is why I sent it to you, is like kind of similar to cannabis. Like if you go, so they have the story, they have like this whole lore. That's the We Are the Night around like their advocacy of around their art, right? I didn't really get, honestly, I didn't think this was well done because it doesn't necessarily lead you into, the universe. I get what they try to do. They want to create like a narrative around the art and what they're trying to do, but that's their kind of first landing page. And then from there, they have their team. And I think this is where you notice kind of like similar to so their core team, that's a Bored Ape. You've probably seen that before. They have people who are heavy hitters in this space supporting this. And it's a marketing company. A lot of marketing folks that I saw was behind this, which I think their success is. But you can see it's very white as well. And I know that's something Indigenous folks have been trying to push back on as we're getting to a new age of psychedelic, legalization and use. So those are the, that's indicative of the space in general. Is it not being a great representation of people of color in the space? I mean, Web3.
Right.
So, and then I saw their roadmap. If you click on their roadmap, and this is what I was saying with where we have to sit down, but roadmap. So they say that their projects, they're donating to an organization providing psychedelic assisted therapy. I don't know why they didn't mention exactly which one, maybe for, confidentiality purposes, but it's not clear exactly where the money is going to or how much of the proceeds from their art goes to this organization. The Genesis Mint, so like when we said mint, their first collection, that's their first launch, was that art that you saw kind of going in the background. Support. So what they're saying is one of the utilities is mental health support. Again, this doesn't say exactly what it is. I don't know, maybe the arrow might go into more detail, but yeah, it really is kind of generic on what that allows people to do. And then it looks like they want to go into gaming. It says in real and virtual challenges that will determine your path in the physical psychedelic metaverse. So like I said, they had that kind of story at the beginning, trying a lore around the project. Still not clear on how this is going to translate, and again what their real intent is. And then they're still trying to go with the theme, still not clear on what's the utility. And then merchandise, they're basically saying if you hold a Genesis, one of their OG mintable projects, you have the option to get merchandise. And then lastly, just community, which we were talking about as well. Support network, social gathering, fitness club, events. And that's what a lot of projects do, right? Like Gutter Cats and such. And then this is, again, they're talking about investments and donation into psychedelics organization. Still not clear on who that is. And then this, they basically are going to have a big pot of money and people can, like a, angel investor, sell their products or sell their projects and try to get some investment.
Who knows what that means?
Right. It's not very clear. And then this looks like they want to have a coin as well, PSY, a real utility to build our ecosystem. So that coin would be used to transact, I think, goods and services. But again, not very clear. Not clear on what that is.
I
Not
really
clear.
love this. I really, our ecosystem expands until a decentralized autonomous organization. So the reason I really love this is because something that I said like 2 months ago, I want to get in early, but I don't have to race because I'll take any one of these, especially like this, and remix it like Puffy and just put a black face on it. So I don't have like they've already spent all the capital. They already have a really small, easy slideshow. Their copy sucks, and I write really good copy. So I could look at this and be like, oh, this is this is much clearer. None of this moves me emotionally. And this is well written for white audiences who want to come in first, but and they use the word anonymous because they're affiliating themselves with anonymous. Like everybody is afraid or respects anonymous. If anonymous comes on and says, White House, you better do this, or Elon Musk, you better do this, trust me, they got their attention. So I think that's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if one of these white boys, you know what I'm saying, who's on the team, is a part of Anonymous, or has donated to Anonymous enough that he's in the community, right? I like this as a format to damn rob and steal. I mean pillage. I mean remake. Whatever I mean.
Right.
Right.
Right. And so then what I also sent you, so you can click mint details, but in the chat I've sent their OpenSea link. Like I was saying, they have an open marketplace. So they haven't so the pre-sale started just 2 days ago. But if you look on OpenSea right now, they haven't minted. So they basically, you buy a pre-sale option before you can fully mint. And then they're going to release the art, as they go along. So if you keep scrolling down, you'll see like the full art hasn't been released yet. They have component number 30. Not sure just why that one was, or I think they're going through the process of releasing the actual art right now. So it's part of the hype as well, right? People have bought the minted piece of art, and then it will kind of release.
Hold on.
So that's not the piece of art yet. So it will, at a certain point in time, I got to look at their roadmap.
Okay.
Then they'll reveal what the actual art is.
Oh, because I was about to be like, so they're selling me a picture of a molecule, you know what I'm
No,
saying? Like,
no, it'll be one of like the guy up the left, all the way at the top.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And they'll do it over time, partially because, it's a lot of effort to reveal all the art at once. But yeah.
Right. But I could do a Kalindi one like this.
Mm-hmm. Or a totally different art style. Like I'm not sure where their inspiration came from, but
no, we have that the Kalindi that's in the corner is the one I'm thinking about. We just want to put that out there and shut it down off the gate. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else had some commentary or something they wanted to jump in with a question?
And I do want to add too, you could also I think that project is minted on the Ethereum network. If you wanted to to reduce the barrier entry, like Solana is a growing network, a blockchain network that reduces the minting fees. And they have some bigger projects that are releasing, so you kind of get up there early before they blow up and get big.
Is this them right here?
Yeah, right. Yeah, Solana blockchain. Like I said, Rarible you can mint to directly. what else? I have a friend. She just she's minting on even a smaller platform called SoulSea. So yeah, again, that would be for our next meeting. We're actually planning out the strategy of what is the best blockchain platform to use.
Hmm. I thought, yeah, because you did type in Rarible up here. Oh no, Bill Wan had posted Rarible.
Like Rarible is where Tony and his team they mint their toys. Oh, those are cool. Yeah.
I need a history lesson on this 8 thing. Were they the first? Why does everybody want them?
One of, yeah. And then they're just present, like you know, at these conferences in Miami and New York, like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, they're coming out. So they're one of the projects that is driving this kind of revolution for sure. You know, and they had real life events. Yeah.
Was somebody about to say something? Was that you, Tony? Or boss?
Nah, that was me, Bill One. I was just saying that they putting the work on the streets. That's why everybody want them. They make they relevant. So yeah, they got all the work on the streets. They flooding the streets.
It's that, and a lot of the stuff is like they pay for influencers. They do rental rates for influencers, and like the DJ Khaled, Future, Justin Bieber, and a bunch of other people. They just basically get them to hype their projects, but they do like it's the same thing I was talking about, festivals and concerts and stuff like that as having being a community token. And so it's perks. Like if you own a Bored Ape, you get to go do yacht parties, exclusive concerts, merch by owning one of these things. And they flip punks. Crypto Punks was one of the first when Crypto Punks came out in 2016, 2017. Now Bored Ape Yacht Club has over flip punks because of the community. They're like kind of like Supreme when Supreme first launched.
So happy that other people understand everything that you're saying if I don't grasp it all. Because I'm right there with what Shana told me to do first. But I understand they putting work in the street. So how do I, that's what I want to do. I want to put work in the street. You know what I mean? Like for real, for real, for real. This is easy because
it goes by the roadmap. Like what I own, I own 4 Gutter Cats. Gutter Cat Gang is going to be the next big blue chip project, and also Parallels, and they've got a $500 million valuation. If you want to, Gutter Cat Gang. We were just.
This is actually a really good one to show because Tony, you want to talk about their House of Kiba, their actual virtual space.
Yeah, they got a virtual space too. Also, they launched their own. We had an open bar. We had Bun B perform, Major Lazer perform. By holding one of these things, my Gutter Cat. To get into a Gutter Cat, you got to have over 30 grand to buy a Gutter Cat each. We have pigeons, we have dogs, we have cats. That's what I own right there. Yesterday we had some feature on a Malik Monks from Lakers shoes. He had his feature on that too. I don't know if you type in Malik Monk, you probably see him when it pop up. But that's their roadmap. That's how your website should look, just like that. If you want to look at roadmap, scroll down real quick. That's a roadmap.
Where?
And it's exactly what they are. See, right there. See, welcome to Together. Read that part right there. The first part.
Underground Web3 social club where your NFT doubles as your membership token to the Gutter Cat Gang. Gutter rats, pigeons, and dogs represent the gang's base level membership. Gutter Cat represents the gang's premier level of membership, and each Gutter NFT unlocks varying unique levels of community.
So you can, yeah, if you click there, like the menu bar up there at the top right. I can't see, but they should. Oh, nothing. Oh, it should have a roadmap. But
roadmap is at the bottom. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. You'll see it. Keep going all the way down. And see the about. They got an about section real quick. And they basically give you a story behind it. So to get community, so they have a story. That's why I was telling you about the story. And they go all the way down, keep going. You can do Momentum straight up there. They talk about the pigeons too. Go all the way down. Keep going all the way down. Like Future, he owns one too. 2 Chainz owns one. That's the studio. I see the merch they also sell too. I see they sell hats and also the digital hats too. And they also sell artwork too. You can make
There's
there too.
their roadmap.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, yeah.
They put out a newsletter. Like they really know how to
I'm
build
actually in the
community.
newsletter too. So
Collabs with Diamond Supply. Those are the shoes that were featured on the NBA.
That's the shoes that was featured in the NBA game on Christmas Day by Malik Monk from the Lakers.
And like that's part of their roadmap is infusing in the NBA community. Like they're going after NBA players to be holders. Like that's one of their big things. I wish you could see, but like they have a whole 3D virtual space. It's really dope and very well done. That House of Kiba, you could type, House of Kiba. They built out on behalf. I think it's. Let me see. Let me spell this right. I think it's a CHIBA. Tell you remember how to spell House of Kiba? That one's
KIB.
A.
Yeah. There it is. First one at the top. That's a House of Kiba. When we talk about digital land and digital building, yeah, you go through them. That's Hawk. They're actually big too. Their NFTs go for $146,000 a piece.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah.
AR, VR, they do all of it. And they'll build it.
Why do you
They're
like
building?
Why were you telling us to come look at this site?
They're building whole actual universes. When you're talking about having like a virtual space, so like Gutter Cats, they partnered with House of Kiba to make. If you look on their partnerships, the Gutter Cat game to make their 3D, make those PFPs, those JPEGs into actual 3D creatures, and they also built out a whole world. Like it's a whole like little trap house thing. Where you can go hang out with friends and stuff, but it looks really dope. It's a whole 3D world. So they have a suite of developers that, for big projects they partner with. If you get, so this is where it's really important to get the right developers who can support.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, it's a wild, wild west. Web3 is a wild, wild west. So I think that's part of the reason why Tony and I are focused on educating people too. Because even myself, I studied engineering, but now that I've been exposed to this space, I'm like, God, I got to go back and learn coding, right? For these smart contracts. That's where the real money is in terms of the utility and value of blockchain and smart contracts.
What language, when you say go back and learn coding, what language?
Most of the smart contracts are built on Solidity. It looks familiar to Java. Like if you're familiar with Java, it looks and feels kind of the same, but and then each blockchain network is going to have a little bit different code. Like Solana is going to be different than Ethereum. Different than Polkadot, different than, I would say about a dozen big ones that could potentially really grow and take off in the next 2 to 5 years.
So is the website House of Kiba, is that web 3.0 or is that's still on 2.0? That's what the site we were just looking at. That's not 3.0, is it?
No, but you can mint from their website. Let me see. Oh, available on drop or sale for House of Key members. Yeah, this website looks Web 2 right now, but I think it's just because this is their like business landing page.
So how do you even access Web 3? Like we're saying it's coming, but will my internet provider, like what is AT&T doing to make sure I can get to Web 3? Do I have to get another company? I gotta leave Comcast or leave AT&T or what? Or just,
No.
as long as I have broadband, I'm good.
Yeah.
So what will I go to Web3 through Google? Like I'm going through Google right now. I'm going through Safari to, look at all this. Where will Web3 be hosted at?
Well, it's decentralized, so that's the benefit of it. It's not going to just be you could go through anything. Like if you have a MetaMask, you can go through your MetaMask wallet and type in a .io or a .x or a .crypto, a .ens.
I was looking at, through here.
No, that's just one application. Yeah, MetaMask, right? So once you download it, they have a web browser. You can browse through the MetaMask web browser, and that's great because if you go on a Web3 website like foxfam.io or Huxley and you want to mint something, you just go through there and then it connects to your wallet. And then you can mint a piece of digital art or digital asset straight to your wallet.
Dun, 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 dun.
And there's some applications online that are like Web3 builders.
Wow. That's really cute. I'm not ready to get started yet because I go crazy. I already know how I am. I have other things on my schedule today. We've been here around 2 hours. I don't want to ask no more questions because I push, and I'm getting hungry, so I have to feed. And boss, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay, bet. Tony, I'm gonna pass your number off the boss, so I ain't got to keep me in the middleman. But I mean, he's in the chat too, so he already got your contact. So we're already in the thread already. Anybody else? Anybody else got something on their hearts and minds that they'd like to add or questions? Or we got Tony and Shayna here.
No questions. Just saying this is a great way to spend a vacation. Diving deep.
Look, all these Tauruses across the top line too. I don't know if y'all on the screen like me, but it's Tauruses across the top. And Rashid was in here across the bottom. It's all good, man. You know what I'm saying? You here with the money. A lot of diamonds in here.
Crystal, you on mute.
She was talking to me. And then Shayna, you a two of diamonds too?
Yes, I am.
And Bill Wan's a two of diamonds, and I'm a two of diamonds. You a two of diamonds too? Oh, well, this looks like success. No. One two of diamonds is a whole issue, but a whole screen full of them, full of hustlers. Yeah, I'm good and satisfied. Mayette, did you have any commentary or Crystal want to add in before we get out of here?
We'll reach out independently.
You went out. You were talking.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can now.
Out independently to gain further clarity on my next moves. But most of my questions were already answered in reference to my community and what point of reference I will integrate.
It went out again. What's your website again? It's IG. Mayette, can you come off mute and tell me the website again?
I said, can you hear me now?
Yes.
No, I wasn't trying to give a website. I was saying that
I want you to. I'm asking for your website so I can show.
Oh, for
Tony.
my website. Okay, yes. intgw.com.
So Tony and Shayna, she already has, she has an app already. She already has a paying community already. In the space. Yeah. So I think Mayette, where you at and where I'm at is like kind of real similar. We just want to like move and like go get the property and open it up You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So when we
Absolutely.
start driving, we want to build it. They are like, we're gonna keep building and running driving traffic into what we have already, but then we'll start building the mall or whatever, somewhere else, and then have a soft launch or grand opening or whatever.
Absolutely. I am seeing a space created virtually, a 3D world where all of the people in my community already can come in and enjoy a space. I was looking at or listening to the creation of the 3D space and then a space to teach in, because in the community there are multiple parties that are teaching various aspects of spirituality and applying it practically. And so that would be great to reach greater, but moving the community I already have inside of a space such as this, I see the benefits of also reaching more people and developing the story to internal growth and wellness, and building the brand and bringing more people into the wholeness of themselves. So I'm just soaking up everything and allowing myself to process right now.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're a developer. That's what you are. You're becoming a developer sitting up in here. Bill Juan, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad you just did that because after my conversation with Mayette, like Tony was one of the first people I wanted to reach out to. She already has the app and a paid community, a pretty decent sized community. So she has the utility already in place. The other thing I was gonna ask, like, does everybody understand when Shayna was talking about going back and doing the coding?
I mean, whoever made the contract, you know what I'm saying? Whoever hold the pen wins. That's what I heard, but what else do you mean? You can add to that.
Right. That's true. But what I'm and Shayna, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe what she's saying is, in your NFT, you can put different things and you can attach different things to your NFT, right? So you can actually put you could put a course inside there. You could put video, a video series inside of there.
Oh
You
yeah,
can make it
absolutely.
really specialized. So what NFTs is doing is, to some degree, is think about it like a digital USB wallet, a digital USB. How you go to a webinar and they give you free USBs with all of this stuff on it, classes and all of that, videos, pictures, all of that shit. You can code that into your NFT.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's man.
It would be the NFT, like your video would be the NFT. Or like there's one Tony and I project we invest in, it's a comic book series. And so the NFT is actually a full comic book, not just the image.
Right. I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that because it can get lost in translation sometimes because it's such a new space.
Hi guys. Also, like, I wanted to mention for Boss, like, when you consider your nonprofit organization, the NFTs can also be used to organize and keep data in an open and transparent manner for your donors. So when people start to give big amounts of money, if I'm not mistaken, and Shane or Tony, correct me if you know more, they still donate in regular dollars, and that is still a tax write-off for them. The profits and the money that you accumulate is pretty much the decentralized portion. So that's still a benefit for your donors. And they also get to see this transparent use of the money using that blockchain technology and building out that DAO so that they can see, I'm giving $10,000 a quarter to this organization and it's going into these spaces that I decide on being a part of this decentralized organization. That can also be used. And I think for me, right now, just focusing on the best ways to incorporate all of the technology into the projects that we have going on currently to do like basically like slow exposure. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do this no matter what can we do to slowly incorporate this technology into the stuff that's already on the table so that it's not so overwhelming and daunting to figure out how to bring it all to the table. But that's it for me.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
Okay, so that was a question. I can't hear you guys.
It was kind of, she was just basically saying, one, confirming that because the transaction data is public, it's the public ledger, it would give people who are donating the confidence to know where their money is going, but also be able to allow them to have a tax write-off. And then the second part was just about, was I think more of a comment, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it was just like starting slow, incorporating these bits slowly. And that's kind of what, when you ask me, Oe, like, what is the suggestion? Yeah, like, you don't want to jump into creating a DAO right away. That's something that would be on your roadmap, right? Because you still have this piece of educating your community, your current community, about the space and getting them comfortable to, switch some USD currency over to crypto, whatever that may be, Solana, Ethereum, whatever one you decide to use. And then having them buy goods and services via NFTs, smart contracts, blockchain. So I think she was mentioning just like starting slow and trying to incorporate it, and the work streams are already going on.
Right, like just simply having people starting to buy things from you in crypto, just to get them tasting like, okay, start purchasing my courses in Bitcoin or in Ethereum as a payment method, just as simple as that, And then, okay, now we're moving into buying tickets and stuff like that for our events and merch, and just getting them used to the space, the terminology, like you said, educating them. Yeah, that was my main takeaway, just incorporating it that way. And then not only just the tax write-off portion, what I was mentioning, but then them also having a say in what's done in the community with the funds that they donate on the long-term roadmap.
Also, my other question, what about authors like books? I mean, we may have spoken, Boss, did we speak about that in the first one? You've watched it more than anybody else.
I mean, y'all talked about books, but because you were talking about dropping a book and putting that out in the space, but I actually as a in reference to like a token, and then they getting that book, as like a gift or a perk rather. That was kind of what y'all were talking about.
Gotcha. So I could move books versus that. You could get the token, then you get the book for free.
Pretty much. I mean, unless Tony or somebody want to correct me.
I mean, it sounds like
that's kind of what I gathered.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. You just use that as a you can sell like again, you can sell the NFT, and then you can sell chapters to the book. That's kind of like what Huxley does. Huxley's a NFT comic book, and they sell chapters, and they'll just sell the cover art as the NFT, and it gives you access to each chapter.
Good old Walt Disney and Marvel Comics. If you haven't seen, because now Spider-Man makes even more sense. The new Spider-Man, because that's all, that's the whole thing of how that's their methodology of introducing the metaverse to folks. So,
and just real quick, Tony, I know you were talking about the coin piece in reference to like Sting and Undertaker. So when I'm looking at the active, I mean, you still do a roadmap for that, right?
Yes, you do a roadmap for that. When you want to launch it, what's the utility behind it? what's the purpose of people buying it in the community?
Roadmap is basically like business plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Where you're trying to go with your project. So that way you keep involved and engaged in long term. People want long term projects. People don't want cash grabs.
That's why you say building community is the only way it's gonna work. I'm going to use this is good because we're gonna use the business model canvas. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one sheet of paper, it's 9 blocks, tells where we're gonna go, what partners we want to use, what we offer. So this is super, super helpful for me because we're about to get into that. That's how I'm spending my quote unquote vacation. I should go to Hawaii, for real. But anyway, somebody else about to come on.
Yeah, I just threw it in the chat because we were talking about the coins. So before I get out of here, I'm not saying invest in this coin. I'm just showing an example. It's called Cannabis Coin. When we talk about the psychedelic space, legalization, all of that, like that's a really great utility that some of these cannabis coins are doing, is allowing you individuals to basically buy and sell strains right from dispensaries and grows, and the smart contracts has all of the information about the type of bud you're buying, like in the contract. So you could do something very similar, because I know psychedelics, like the mushrooms, they have a different strains, you know, the white teachers, penis envy, whatever. And it basically just enables like the growers to directly buy and sell with their customers. Like I said, I'm not endorsing this. I'm not saying invest in this one. It's just one example. There are actually a few other coins like this. That's one way that you, to the lady's point earlier about like having good services on Bitcoin that, you know, ties to the specific service. And for something like psychedelics that isn't fully legalized, it's on a decentralized platform, like it really hits that gray area sweet spot.
Yeah, like for me, I just have to move slow and not try to jump on everything at one time. I'm not early, I'm super early. This is like you said, .coms. This is probably like in revisiting, before there was a GoDaddy, you had to go to something called Register, something my little brother used to go to that all the time before there was a GoDaddy. So that's what I feel now, because I be wanting to put so many people on. My community, I want it to be like, it might not be up under the same roof, but I still wanted us to be community. So I'm in Boss's community, just like he in the psychedelic community, even if he ain't done 1 gram of mushrooms yet. You know what I'm saying? So, because we still want to get to the babies. But I know so many folks now in the cannabis thing. The roadmap is definitely going to help me as far as reverse engineering where I want to be at, you know, in 1, 3, and 5 years. Bam, bam.
So that's all, to be totally 100, that's about the time that you have, you know, time, space, expanding, technological revolution continues to evolve and innovate quicker and quicker. And I truly believe 2 to 5 years is when you'll see a real shift in crypto adopters and users. And for people who want to be successful in this space, you know, it's now to get in and establish themselves.
Yes. Yeah. I'm about to.
And this makes a whole lot of sense too with that 2027 coming in human design.
Yeah. They know. They already know they're gonna have all this in, like they're gonna have all this in place by 2026. At least nice, and where it's like Web 3.0 doesn't scare you no more. It's like, huh? So as fast as they picked up a TikTok, they'll absolutely pick up a Web 3.0. As fast as they picked up everything else. Nobody's satisfied with right now. So everybody wants to know what's next. So that's the good thing about it, the momentum piece. I'm complete and I'm getting hungrier. Everybody else, y'all good?
Good. Yeah, I got a meeting at 1.
Tony, we appreciate you. Thank you. Shayna.
Appreciate you too.
Thank you. Peace.
Appreciate you.
If y'all got any other chat or whatever, just drop it in the other chat. I will, when Zoom sends me this, I will drop the link to the chat, and then I'll take the video, download it, put it on the YouTube, and then put it back in if y'all want to share it with somebody else, some of your constituents or whatever. I want to say big shouts out, peace to Vincent, because I know he's not on here live, but I absolutely making this for my 14-year-old nephew so he can keep up, because we're about to do a 10-year plan. So in 10 years, I'm gonna be 61, he gonna be 24. I trust him more than I trust Boss. You know what I'm saying? And so I know my stuff gonna be secure. By Boss you in 10 years, you'll be what? 40 what?
10 years, 45.
He'll be 45, I'll be 61. We'll have a little 24-year-old, two 24-year-old ninjas going on. You know, like, yeah, this is good right here. All right, appreciate everybody. Y'all have a great day. We're gonna holler. Peace.